pray, right? So we just start by praying. So please just close our eyes and we just lead with our daily prayer. Our Father. Our Father. Thank you. Yo guys, Sbuyele again. You know, like today, I'm very honored. I am very honored. Like as you can see here, Mpete, you know, our leader, our community member, one of the best author, a Zimbabwean author himself. And guys, I'm saying it again. I'm very honored to have Mr. Thompson, Mr. T as our guest. And Mr. T, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Thompson Charlie. I am a Zimbabwean author, a poet, counselor, and an activist again, a human rights activist. So I'm a kind of a jack of all trades. And it's nice to be here today at Versatile Minds, because I was once also a young man. It was also beautiful, you know, being young and going through the stuff that young people go through. It is one of the most wonderful experiences. But I'm happy to be here, to be sharing one or two things with you guys.
That would be great. And honestly, the youth that will be watching this one, like, I mean, like, you just grab your favorite beverages and then sit tight, because Mr. T is going to unfold, share very, very, very useful information. So, Mr. T, can you please describe your identity as an African man in today's world? Like, you know, growing up, what shaped your understanding of what it means to be an African before we dive into our topic?
You know, growing up as a young person, I learned a lot from my father. And my father passed away when I was 13 years old. But his passing away, it also revealed a lot of things, you know, to me after he was gone. And I had to grow up very fast into the man that I have become today. It was a challenge, and the challenges of life as an African, you have so many challenges, from underprivileged backgrounds, and through our educational system as well, and through our own personal growth. As an African man, we go through a lot. We go through a lot of challenges. So it is not an easy thing to be an African man. But an African man is actually one who sees another African man as himself. When you see the other person in front of you, you must be able to see yourself in that other person. So that is one thing that I value as an African man. And before you can go and respect a person from another place or even from another continent, you have to be able to understand and to connect with another African man.
Yes.
In Africa.
That was deep and powerful. Yes. So can you just formally tell us, like, who is Mr. Thompson Charlie beyond the titles and the position? Because like I've been going through like your work and everything, like, man, like I can't just wait for you to unfold all those things, right?
I think I love the word versatile. I love the word versatile.
Yes.
Because when I was growing up, if I had not had a versatile mind,
yes,
I would not be here, sitting here with you and going through all this stuff with you guys. Because I had some challenges as a young person, but I had to keep a versatile mind to be able to leap over those challenges.
Yes. To
be able to negotiate through the barriers that were in my way. I had to carry a versatile mind. So it is very important, that you also have a versatile mind.
That word carries a lot of weight, right?
It carries a lot of weight. Versatile.
Especially as a youth.
Yes. Especially as a youth. When we grow up, we have a lot of things that we learn.
Yes.
But there is that very strong, powerful thing that is inside of you that nobody else can teach you.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. You have to dig deeper into it, and you have to find it yourself.
Yes.
And you have to bring it out yourself.
Yeah.
It is your responsibility for it to flower, for it to bloom, for it to be. And that thing that is very inside of you is the person that essentially you are. And it is something that actually is something that is connected with your soul. It is not only connected with your mind, but with a higher power in your body, which is your soul.
That's, hey, guys, I hope you guys are listening, because like this is a one-time opportunity for you to listen to this, because like you will never come back again. So grab this opportunity. So Mr. T, I want to ask you this. Was there a defining moments that pushed you toward leadership and community work? Because like based on like the work that you've been doing, like you've been doing very, 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 very well.
When I left school, I went into teaching. So I went into teaching.
Seriously?
Yes.
I
was a teacher. I went into teaching, and I went into teaching. So I've worked with young people for the better part of my life.
Yes.
My working life. I've worked with young people. So teaching, it made me understand and connect with younger people. And these were the defining moments in my life, because when I was teaching, I met children with different challenges. They were underprivileged children.
Yes.
And then another defining moment was also the happened earlier when my father passed away.
Yes, yes.
Yes, my father passed away. I was 13 years old. I was still in doing my grade 7 then. But I sank into myself deeper, because I noticed that something was now different in my life.
Yes.
And it was also a moment of discovery for myself.
Yes, self-discovery.
Self-discovery. I started reading poetry. Whilst I was withdrawing into myself, I was a reading person. So I started reading poetry. And as I read poetry, I started even writing my own poems. Because that moment I realized that I had something, deeper sitting inside of me, and I needed to get it out.
Yes.
And poetry helped me to do that. I didn't get any formal training in how to read and how to appreciate poetry.
Yes.
But it just happened.
It was something that was in you.
It was something that was in me.
Yeah.
So we carry those things inside of us. And through the defining moments of our lives, when we listen deeper to the things that are happening to our lives, and when we take the risk, everything comes out.
Yeah. See, this.
So that was the most defining moment in my life, actually, the moment of losing my father, and then also getting into teaching and getting to work with young people.
So I want let's just discuss about the leadership and the Zimbabwe Heritage Foundation. What comes into your mind about that? Because like based on the work that you've been doing, I saw that on your website. What comes into your mind about the Zimbabwe Heritage Foundation and leadership?
Yes, the Zimbabwe Heritage Foundation, actually, it came into being when I was here in South Africa and working with young people.
Yes.
Mostly they were unaccompanied minors from Zimbabwe, and some of them were even from Mozambique. We had even some from DRC and Zambia, and even from Tanzania.
Yeah.
Yes. So when I was in Joburg, wandering around Joburg there, I noticed that there were lots of young people, unaccompanied minors, and some of them were even local children here in South African children. Yes, South African children coming from different parts of the country, and they were there in Joburg, living on the streets, most of them.
Yes.
And so we moved around the streets and we identified them and we picked them up and we spoke to them. And at that time, Reverend Dr. Paul Verrein was then the Bishop of the Methodist Church.
Yes.
He had started a school. It was along Marshall Street.
In Johannesburg.
In Johannesburg. I mean Albert Street in Marshall Town, yes.
Oh,
In Marshall Town, it's Albert Street. So we took the children there, and the children actually, we put them in school there, and they started going to school. And it was a wonderful moment, having,
Yes.
it was a very rewarding thing because I wasn't employed, but I was doing this as a voluntary work.
Giving hope to the young ones.
Giving hope to the young ones. I found it very rewarding because those kids, actually, when I looked at them, I saw also my own kids. They were just like my own kids, also having challenges,
Yes.
Yeah.
And
My kids, I had left them in Zim. And these kids actually also, when I looked at them, I saw my own kids as well. I also saw myself as well.
Yes.
Through the challenges that they were going through. So that is how the Zimbabwe Heritage Foundation actually was born.
Oh, that's how it was born.
That's how it was born.
Oh, yeah, now I see, because I didn't understand very well. Now I've got the clear picture about how it started actually. So what does the rebuilding African narrative mean to you personally? Who do you think should be responsible for telling African stories? Leaders, youth, or creatives?
I think the African story right now is in the hands of the youth to carry it forward. The young people right now are actually kind of the custodians who actually can just give it to the young people now. They need to hand it over to the young people.
Yes.
So that the young people can carry it forward. Every story starts in the middle.
Yes.
So as we hand over, as adult people hand over to the young people also must note that it is a story that is being told in the middle, and they need to carry it forward. But for now, it is the best. It's best in the hands of the young people.
Because the youth is the future.
The youth is the future.
Yes.
And the youth actually, when I look at the youth of 1976, they have done their part. So it is now for the youth of this moment also to do their part.
Yes.
To carry forward, to tell the African story, to tell the African narrative, to put it there on the map so that everybody in the world can see it and respect it.
You see, I'm just actually thinking today, having you as my guest today, I think and I don't think, but I know that this episode today is going to change a lot of things, to bring a lot of changes into our platform and to whoever will be watching this, because we have today, you giving us the information that we have never ever got from anyone. You see, so I'm very honored, honestly, and I wanted to ask you as well, as the chairman since 2012, what has been your biggest achievement so far? From 2012, I don't know if it's still present or it's it has stopped there.
I think the biggest achievement really was to get those young people into school. Because that moment it happened around 2008, 2009, 10. Around there, we had a lot of unaccompanied minors from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And Johannesburg, actually, there was the people were living at the church, the Methodist Youth Center.
Yes.
So people would gather there, all people who actually were facing life challenges. You know, they would come to the Methodist and they would stay there, and they would find their life back there. They would find themselves back on their feet, and when they found jobs, people left. So the young people actually were stranded. We had young people, lots of them. But the greatest achievement actually was working with those young people to get them into school, to assist them with their homeworks. And most of them right now are doing well in life. Some of them have got degrees.
Some they are running businesses.
Some of them are running businesses.
Of which the
Some of them, I would say 95% of them, they are doing well, quite well. I would say quite well. Then amongst the 5%, of course, you'll find those who are
trying.
but they are doing something for
Yes.
themselves. But I would say those ones, about 95%, are just doing excellent. Excellent.
Yes. So I wanted to ask about like the kids, like they were starting from like the age group, like from how many years to how many years, like.
What actually the youngest there we had was actually around 6, 7 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Very
And
young.
then we had also youth that was around 23 years old. But these ones are people who had actually had been deprived of the opportunity to go to school. They were no longer in school. Their school had been disrupted, but they wanted to go back to school.
Yes.
So they went back to school, and they
Did very well.
did very well, and they changed their lives. And from there, they got degrees. Some of them are lawyers, some of them are even in human resources, and we have got some also who are actually running businesses, good businesses.
So among that group, do you have like few students that are overseas pursuing their studies, or?
Well, a lot of them have actually now moved on with their lives, but I trust that some of them, they are still going on developing their lives, because I know of one who is actually now studying for a doctorate. So that is actually gratifying. But we connect on them. I see them on Facebook. I follow them. They are doing well.
Every day, like, you are proud of yourself. What's the work that you've been doing? Yeah?
The biggest reward is actually watching them,
Becoming the
Becoming-
best versions
Yes.
of themselves.
So that is the greatest reward. And even when here, as we tell our African narrative, that is actually also the thing that will give us the greatest reward in our lives, is to be able to do, when we do something, is to be able to look back on it and see that it empowered someone's life.
Yes.
And empowerment actually is not an outcome or an end game, but an ongoing thing that keeps on going. That even when you look at them as they go on, they are also busy empowering other people's lives and enriching, other people's lives. So that is actually gratifying.
So just want to ask, what were the challenges that you have faced in leading the foundation focused like on the youth, and in your view, what is the biggest issue like those young people who were coming from Zimbabwe were facing? Like, I can actually say from those different countries, because if I can say Zimbabwe, because like you've been working with different young people from different African countries, isn't it? It's true, right? So yeah.
Well, the greatest challenge actually, is when I look at of course there was some, we had funding challenges, but the greatest challenges actually were having to work with a situation. When I say a situation, I'm looking at the young people's condition in which they were.
Yes.
These are young people who had actually been on the streets for some time.
Yes.
These are people who had been actually traumatized backgrounds. In their they carried backgrounds of trauma, huge trauma. And to be able to unfetter that trauma, to be able to release them, to help them release themselves from the effects of that trauma, and to be able to get into a trajectory that reshaped their lives into more positive, into a more positive tract, was actually one of the greatest challenge.
Yes.
Because it carried a lot of research, it carried a lot of connecting, making human connection and working with each and everyone developmentally, looking at the challenges of each and every one child, and working with it developmentally. Those were the greatest challenges.
Yeah, man, like, I'm just imagining myself like in that position, like, man, like I wouldn't cope, like honestly, like we've been doing a lot of things, So I want us to, to close that part about the what's this, the foundation that you've been working on.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, like what advices would you give to young leaders who want to create change but feel limited? Like in today's world, like how it is. Sometimes self-doubt. We as youth, we doubt ourselves too much.
I think the biggest thing is finding yourself.
Just like Mr.
Yes,
T.
finding yourself. One thing that is the craziest thing is about finding yourself. We are all pieces of coal. What can I say? Yeah, pieces of coal under ashes, buried under ashes. Where we come from, it's good to know about also our history, because where we come from also, it also gives us confidence. When we are connected,
Yes.
with our roots, it gives us confidence. We understand ourselves better. So what I suggest for young people is to know themselves better. We are all nuggets of coal under ashes under ashes, but you need to go deeper. Just blow that ashes away and let yourself, shine.
Do some self-introspection.
Do some self-introspection. Take the leap. Jump. Do not be afraid to risk it. Do not postpone waiting for a better moment to come. The better moment is now.
Yes.
Take the leap. Jump. Risk it. Once you have something that is deeper inside of you that you really feel connecting with, go for it. Don't limit yourself. Jump. Leap. Take the leap. Risk it. Go. Knock doors. The doors, you will find the right door, it will be open for you. If you don't go, you won't find the door.
My fellow brothers, I hope you're listening. If you don't listen to this information, I don't know what you like Nina Nifuna. Honestly, because like today, the information that you've been looking for, if you want to start something, you feel like, you feel motivated, like when's the next? Now the information is here, and put it here. You understand? So Mr. T, Thank you for that. And let's just move to the agriculture and sustainability part, like the project in Jabavu. So, what inspired your work with the Jabavu Agricultural Initiative?
The Jabavu Agricultural Initiative, actually, when I was looking at, we were looking at the global warming thing.
Yes.
And how it is affecting our climate, how it is also how the climate affects agricultural input, and the diseases that come up, and how it affects also the seeds, how it affects the crops.
Yes.
So global warming actually is real. Things are changing.
Yes, things are changing.
And we also having a growing population. And we are also looking at now, we are having in the world more of GMO, which is the genetically modified crop farming taking place. So the Jabavu Agricultural Initiative was also looking at this dwindling part of the organic gardening or organic farming.
Yes.
So the GMO versus the organic farming, that is what we have, and it's a reality. All the food that we are having right now is genetically modified. We're having chickens that grow, you can actually watch it grow and see it grow from one stage to the other. You can actually notice it. That right now, it was like this, but now it is changed.
On a short period of time.
Yes, during a short period of time, you can see the changes taking place. So the GMO actually has come with its own challenges, health challenges.
Yes.
It has been actually also accused of also precipitating a lot of cancer problems, in our
region.
Yes. So cancer actually has been growing also. So we can't deny that, but we have also this problem of cancer growing, cancer-related diseases. So we also there's also a greater need to go back to the organic way of farming. And that is very not only nutritious farming, but it is also healthy, and it protects the body against a lot of diseases as well. The food stuff that defends the body against a lot of diseases. So that is actually also how I became involved in this Jabavu Agricultural Initiative.
Say, you are involved in a lot of projects, and I think we're just starting here. Guys, we're just starting here. Like, Mr. T has got a lot of projects that he has been doing, like, so far. So, Mr. T, how can young people get involved in sustainable agriculture even without land or resources?
Yes, I would say, go out there on the internet. There are a lot of resources. Learn about organic agriculture, because we are what we eat.
We are what we
eat. We are what we eat. Even sometimes you wake up to next morning and you feel heavy and you feel like you don't want to get out of bed. Sometimes it is because of the food that you ate yesterday.
So
if it was not healthy, it also gives you a
negative.
Yes, it also has negative effects. It's not only beer that can actually give you negative effects in the state of a hangover. Even the food that we eat every day.
Yeah, that's right.
Tomorrow, and you feel heavy, and you feel you don't have the energy to do anything. You feel you're demotivated. It also boils down to the food that you eat, and it also affects the power of your mind.
So, do you think agriculture is being overlooked as a career path by youth? Because, like, I feel like now youth, like, when it comes to agriculture-wise, I don't want to lie, like, they are not, like, really interested, like, in agriculture.
Yeah. Because I think one of the things is that agriculture, it carries a lot of work, a lot of labor. Some people also don't like something that identifies with a lot of labor. But you know, there are also quick ways of doing things. You know, of let's say you let's say you want to grow your vegetables.
Yes.
And you cannot just go and put them in the soil, but you can just start by making a small compost there, and you take and you prepare your soil. And once you feed your soil, you can grow things there for the whole year, 2 years, actually without actually using fertilizer. And you have organic. You are having organic crops. So young people actually can go into agriculture. They can actually start by also doing things like raising their own chickens, raising. They can even start with even rabbits. Rabbit keeping is also is something good. I used to do it when I was a young person.
Really?
Yes, I used to do it. I kept rabbits at home, and it was actually a pleasure, you know, watching them, you know, grow. But also they provided the family with meat.
Yes.
Organic meat. You know, the kind of.
Do people really eat meat, rabbit meat?
Rabbit meat, it's nice.
Really?
It is.
I thought maybe people they keep rabbits maybe for, it's sort of like a pet, like, you know. I never thought maybe they do it like for, you know,
For meat.
Yeah, for meat, and you know.
They keep it for meat. And there are actually farms where they keep rabbits. And I remember in Zimbabwe, there is also a rabbit association, an association of rabbit keepers. Yeah, they keep rabbits, and they are different. They're different types, and they range from small to big sizes, and they provide good meat, which is healthy. It's white meat. So it doesn't have a lot of cholesterol, so it is healthy for your body. Unlike the meat that we buy, like beef,
Pork,
yes, you see,
mutton.
there's a lot of cholesterol in all that food. And you find that, you know, in this time and age, we have lots of problems like high blood pressure and stuff like that.
Yes.
And high blood pressure does not only come from, and we hear people, they mustn't eat salt, they mustn't have this meat, red meat. It's because it has got cholesterol.
Oh, now I
It's that cholesterol actually which actually pushes up the blood pressure.
They do learn new things every day. Now I understand it. Like, I didn't understand it, and I get it. So now we're moving into like the most innovative part, like, you know, like writing and creativity. You know, like, because like you said you are a writer, right? Like you're an author. So what inspired your poetry collection, Mindscape Volume 1?
Mindscapes Volume 1 has actually inspired, you know, I wrote that collection of poems when I was here in Joburg.
Yes.
Yes. So these are poems of displacement, and also poems of resistance and hope. So those are the things that inspired me to write about this collection. Poems of resistance because of the situation in my country.
Yes.
And also poems of hope, so that people were going through lots and lots of challenges. And I was going through those challenges too. So I also wrote this collection of poems also to bring about healing for myself.
All right.
And also to take out the stuff that was sitting, heavy inside of me. And I needed to say, I need to get this off my chest. So that's how I wrote, that's how I came up with this collection of poems, Mindscapes Volume 1. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy now, and I'm just thinking now I should have brought a copy.
You should have brought the copy.
The copy of
don't worry.
Of the novel.
Yeah,
of the novel.
Don't worry.
Yes, I have copies of the novel.
Don't worry. Don't worry about that. We'll do something, and then we'll make sure that it will be on their screen, and they will see it. Because I also need one. I also need one. I need to purchase one because, as you can see, my collection here. I'm also someone who loves reading. You see, so what themes do you find yourself returning to in your work?
Yes, the themes that I normally find reverting to all the time, the themes of displacement, the themes of personal growth,
Yes.
and the themes of resistance. And in my work, I've noticed that resistance actually is not only that we do when we are faced with a situation like for instance, the Zimbabwean situation, resisting against oppressive laws.
Oppressive laws, yes.
But there is also a resistance
Yes.
against the things that are inside of us.
That are inside of us.
Yes. Those are the biggest challenges. The best thing before you can start resisting anything that is working against you is to be able to identify the thing that is working against you within yourself, the resistance within yourself, and how to build, a responsive mechanism against that resistance.
So I wanted to ask the books that you have wrote so far. How many books do you have now?
Well, I've got Mindscapes Volume 1.
Yes.
And then I've got Shattered 1, The Impact, which is the novel.
Me, I know Shattered. The second one that you're saying, the
Yes.
volume 1 I haven't I once read the I think it was only one page. I remember this other day when we met that said, and then I was like, let me see, and then I only read one. Yeah, that one. The other one I haven't seen it.
Yes. So Shattered 1 and Mindscapes Volume 1, they were published by a writer. By a publisher in America. So these books are quite expensive to get them here in South Africa, and a copy of Shattered 1, The Impact, actually, if you want to buy it from
the publisher,
it's available on Amazon.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it from there, it costs something like 500 something rands. You see, so but I have got some copies though that I can give out for.
All right.
A relatively much cheaper price.
All right.
My own copies that I sell. So, Shattered 1, The Impact, and Mindscapes Volume 1, and we were talking about also. I'll go back to the themes that I also find myself always reverting.
Yes.
The biggest theme is also about understanding yourself. Just to clarify about building up a responsive mechanism
Yes.
against the resistance that is inside of you and even that is around you. You have to understand yourself. There is what we call what I call myself a reactive state. There are 3 states of being. There is the reactive state,
Yes.
there is the active state,
Yes.
and there is the proactive states.
Proactive state. Yes.
And by the way, I've used these states
All of them.
when I work with people. I'm a counselor. You by the way,
Yes.
it's another thing.
Yes.
I'm a counselor.
You see,
So
you see what I was saying. You see what I was saying. You just revealed something that I didn't even know. You see, that you didn't even know as well.
I am a Lifeline trained counselor. So I also do counseling with an organization called Lifeline Johannesburg.
Oh yes.
So, when I sit with my clients, and when I also sit with young people, I've noticed that these three states of being, people actually just overlook them. They do not even understand sometimes which part or which state of being
Yes.
they are finding themselves in.
Yes.
That is affecting their situation. So mostly the reactive part is the one that is associated with the bad feelings that we go through. Sometimes something happens to you and you feel, oh, I'm not enough. Oh, I'm not. I have this feeling of inadequacy, or oh,
Yes.
I feel very low. It's associated with the reactive state. And then the active state, actually, when you are up and about, you're doing your work, you're doing everything, but you are not actually mindful of some of the things that are happening inside of you. The proactive state, actually, you are very mindful. You see, things happen to you, you notice, this thing has happened, I feel down, I feel angry, or I feel what? That's the reactive part of you. But the proactive state is able to guide you to move from the reactive and into the active and into the proactive.
You see the third one, it's here.
Aha! Oh, you got it here!
You see?
Aha! Oh, I see. Radical acceptance, copying statements.
So
It's about copying. One great thing.
That's why I've been
You are a star.
listening because all these things they've got meaning like to me. So that's why I've been listening to you.
It's a central meaning. They've got a central meaning to every time,
So
everything that we do.
so this one is a summary of what you have been
Yes,
taking.
yes. You wake up. When you wake up, know that there is something is happening there.
So
It's either you are in the reactive, active, or proactive.
So every time you see. So like I was listening, I was like, no, like I'm familiar to what you're saying, but like I couldn't like, get them together. So I was like, no, what I have it's a summary because like yours it's a 3-step thing, and this one it's a summary of the whole 3-step.
One day I want to write a book about that. Put it together nicely, put it together so that people can understand it. You know,
Yes.
not briefly the way I'm doing it, you know, just touching on the surface
Yes.
and not expanding on it.
You're trying to unfold everything.
Yes, I want to write a book that will expand everything. And by the way you asked me about the books I've written, how many? I think I didn't answer that one. I said, this poetry, volume 1, this Shattered One, the Index, and I have another one, which is also, I did self-publish that one. I self-published it. It's an educational book that can be used by children in school. It's an English language book. It's called Introduction to Prefixes and Suffixes. So I have noticed also that, you know, for learners of English, I have noticed that, you know, our English learners, you know, young people, they struggle a lot with understanding and decoding words.
Yes.
So by understanding prefixes and suffixes, they are able to decode a word and even its meaning without even going to consult a dictionary.
Yes.
So I wrote that book specifically to help the young people in school, people who are studying English language.
So you actually have how many? 3?
Yes.
So far.
3
Wow.
so far. And I'm working on another one right now. And the other one actually will be coming, I think, anytime soon, because we are only looking at funding for that one. I'm working with one of the biggest publishers in South Africa, which is Jacana Literary Foundation.
All right.
Yes, so yes, I've pitched my book with them and they have accepted it and they want to publish it. So we're still working on that one. It's coming.
So hey, you've been working, and I need to, you know, to follow your path, so that at least one day I'll publish one book. I only want to publish one book. Only one. I don't want two. I want
You will.
only one.
You will.
One. So, as part of the African Writers Forum, what role does African storytelling play globally?
Yes, it's about bringing the African, story there and put it there where everybody else can see it. Africa has been considered, has been labeled the dark continent, but it's actually the place where actually life began. It is the motherland. So it has had all these labels, but Africa in itself is also the mother of many civilizations. And when we look at Africa, we have been actually kind of when we look at our situation, our condition in Africa, we are, I would say, we are very, very much looked down upon.
Yes.
I remember, at one time the current president of America, during his first tenure of presidency, when he referred to Africa as it's a very, very dark word, and it's an obscene word, but he did call Africa something like a shithole.
That's odd.
That's how he described Africa. But at the same time, look where all the European countries, where they are at, is because of Africa's resources.
And even the minerals, like
yes,
they're actually smuggling our minerals here, taking them to their countries.
Right now, they're still doing that. And right now, it is now the moment for us, to be able to say no. I like what the president of Botswana did last time. The new president of Botswana, the one who is sitting right now in the chair. He said, Trump invited him to America.
As he always does.
Yes, he invited him to America to say, come here, we want to talk about, how we can we can improve trade relations with Botswana and the diamond mines. And he said, the diamonds belong to the people of Botswana. So if you want to discuss about the diamonds of Botswana, you come this side. And from now, we are going to process our own diamonds and sell them as finished products.
Because, these people, they do take advantage of that, because like when they buy minerals,
yes,
like as unfinished products, they buy them with cheap price, and then
yes,
when they finish, when it's finished product coming from their country, coming back to Africa,
yes,
it's now very expensive. That's how they make money, and then they think that we as Africans, we don't have the actual resources to do that.
It's written made in USA, made in Great Britain. But they never put a label which says originated.
Yes, originating in South Africa, originating in Botswana, originating in Zimbabwe. That's weird.
They don't want you to know it.
That's weird.
They don't want them. Yes. So
that's weird.
So that's the African. So that is part of the African story as well. That our young people need to look at and see how, as leaders, as future leaders, they can do the flip there.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, right, this question, because you're done with the part of your books.
Yes.
The collection of your books, and don't forget, we need one here.
Yes,
we need one. We need one copy.
Yes, I will bring you a copy here.
I need.
I've got the copies. They are there at home. I'll bring you.
Because I actually want to read the what is it?
Shattered One. The
Impact. Yes. Because by looking at the cover.
Yes.
It says a lot.
Yeah. Because the main character here is actually a man who is displaced from his country, comes into Johannesburg, stays on the street, and then he has to find his feet again.
Yes.
So it's a struggle, and it's a struggle, and he has to be honest with himself, self-searching, you know, and it is not about it's not about making these huge leaps that makes one a hero, but actually making the responses that you need to make in life.
Yes.
That actually changes the situation.
Then I can't wait to read that, because like I really love reading, and just want to give it a try. And after finishing that, I'll tell you, and you see, I'll start, you know, like doing, you know, a mind map about mine and everything. I'll see as time goes by. So, Mr. T, if you could challenge young people with one action starting today, what would it be? What kind of Africa do you believe we as the generation of today can we build?
If I could throw a challenge for the youth of today, is to take the future of Africa into their own hands.
Yes.
So taking the future of Africa into their own hands, it's a huge responsibility, because they have a huge responsibility on their shoulders. Like I was saying, these things we were talking about, the America, about the European countries coming to take our minerals, and our young people today, with education that we have today, and the opening of minds that is happening today, there is no greater placed authority to do that than the youth.
So we are in charge of everything. We have the power to change
the power to change the future. You will look at the issues of service delivery that we are seeing today, and we are looking at our youth to say, how can they get more involved in this, and go and even knock on the government doors and say, this is not what we want. We want this. Like what the youth of 1976 today said, look, this stops here today.
Yeah, it stops here.
It stops here. It ends today. What we want is this.
Mm.
That is the greatest challenge.
So I wanted to ask you this, with what is happening today in South Africa. I think it's not just happening in South Africa. This issue of foreigners in South Africa, like, what do you think it's affecting, or what the youth can do based on this? Because like I feel like the people in power, they are using the youth to I actually don't know the battle between our political leaders, like from Zimbabwe, South Africa, Trump, like they've got their own conflicts. So with what is happening today, what do you think will affect the youth?
Look here, that is very, very important. That is very important what you are talking about. I'm not going to be judgmental here.
Yes, you just need
in what is happening here.
Yes.
But what I'm looking at here is that the youth of today, we have got, we want to open our eyes. We have to open our eyes.
Yes.
We have got the leadership there,
yes,
which is also the government there. And we have also got the business community there. And we have also got the communities that we are coming from. That we are, or in which we spend our daily lives. We have got ideas compacting from all these places. But some of them ideas, the way they reach us,
it's sort of like propaganda.
They are kind of pushed through, systems that we cannot see.
That are not straight.
Hidden.
Yes.
But in actual fact, it's serving the agendas of other people there in power, the business community, that as long as the African, look for example, the issue of foreigners here is black on black. It's never black against the white person.
The whites, the Indians.
It's not black on white, no. It's black on black. African on African. So as long as they keep us divided, just like how the colonialists managed to do it. They use the same tactics, divide and rule, and hide behind something. They don't see it, but you just throw the bombs, it bursts there, it explodes there. They start fighting against each other. They start blaming each other for the bomb.
And then when everything unfolds, and then they make a move.
They make a move. They are. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to be judgmental. I want to put business there, white monopoly capital up there. And I want to put government there. There are politicians who are actually also divisive, who are actually following their own, who actually are concerned about their own power. And we've got the business community also, like the white monopoly capital there. They want to maintain a monopoly over the business in South Africa. In South Africa, it's not free economically. It's still owned by the whites. The business is black.
I used to tell these other people, they didn't want to listen.
So to say the truth, actually, to say the truth, there are sponsors from that side. There are also sponsors even from the government, from the politicians, from the government, and even from the opposition. There are sponsors who sponsor this thing. They sponsor it through words. They sponsor it through ideas. They sponsor it through even putting money behind, some of these organizations that actually are sprouting, that are vigilante groups. When you look at them, they are actually vigilante groups. So the thing is, the challenge is to young people is to be able to see another African, to see yourself in the other person.
Yes.
See yourself. When you see the other person, you see yourself. And that is actually also the essence of how we used to, our elders used to live. You meet a stranger on the street, you greet the stranger. It doesn't mean that you know the person or not, but you have to greet the person. Salbon. It means I'm seeing your humanity there. And it means I'm also seeing myself in you. That is the essence of greeting, actually. And so even greeting, when we make it a point that every person that we meet on the street, we are going to greet that person. It will be also a point of starting to regain our own humanity. It will be also the first place of accepting even ourselves in other people and accepting other people in ourselves.
Yes.
It's a complicated thing, but that is what it is. As long as there is no connection there will always be disconnection, fights, misunderstandings, attacking each other, and so forth. But the real problems are there. It's not that person. For example, the black on black here. And there is issue of service delivery. And you say things are worse off in our country because of them. There is also high inflation. There is an unemployment problem. Yes, it's a problem. But the real issue is here. Who should be doing something about it?
Yes.
How and why? We all should be doing something about it, but in our own ways that are actually positive and beneficial to the African continent. If we push each other away, no man is an island. We all need each other. But the more we are divided, the more the enemy gets power over us.
Yes.
And that's the thing.
What legacy do you hope to leave behind?
I hope to leave behind a legacy of love.
Legacy of love.
A legacy of love. And understanding, understanding of other human beings, I would say, compassion. Someone who built, who actually, who was actually compassionate in life. I want to leave a legacy of building on the good that is already there, not the bad.
Yes.
Because as we build on the good that is there, the bad that is there actually diminishes. You do not find the bad by fighting against it. You find the bad by building on the good, even the inside of you. You do not build yourself by fighting your idiosyncrasies or your bad habits. In that you build yourself by building. You build yourself by focusing on the good and expanding on it.
Yes.
That's the best way to do it, because in trying to fight the bad, you are actually kind of it's a resistance thing, and you focus on resisting. But if you focus on building, on expanding on the good will expand, and even as it expands, in life, there is that saying that the power of positive attraction. Also, good things come to you. Because you are focusing on building the good expand, the positive attraction happens.
Yes.
You focus on resisting only. You patching up things. You closing gaps. So focus on building what is there. So that's the legacy I wanna leave. Somebody who focus on building the good that is there.
Of which is something that you've already achieved, and it's already there, isn't it?
Once we can do that, once I focus on the good on you, how can I see the bad? How can I see you as an undesirable element? Never!
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Mr. T, where can people find your work or connect with your initiatives?
I've been actually consulting. My website provider now is down, but I think my work actually is available on Amazon. My books are available on Amazon. If you Google Shattered One: The Impact by Thompson Charlie, you will see it. You can also, I also have some copies that I also sell myself. Yes.
So, like, even on Facebook, they can find you, right?
I'm there on Facebook. You can connect with me on Facebook, Thompson Charlie. I've got an author page on Instagram. I'm there. Yes.
And on what's this?
LinkedIn. I'm there.
Because I saw most of your work on LinkedIn.
Yes.
So the final message to young people listening to you right now.
The final message is: get up now. Live your life in the now, in the moment. Do not wait for the big thing to come to you. The big thing will come to you when you go to it. The Arabs, they have got a saying which says, if the mountain will not come to Muhammad, then Muhammad must go to the mountain. So the big things will not come to you. You must go there. No matter how equipped you are, but you have got to go there and climb the mountain. Take the risk, take the leap. Don't wait for time. The time is now. There is no ideal moment. The ideal moment is now.
Asikho esinye isikhathi.
Isikhathi kumanje.
Nezwa.
Asikho esinye isikhathi manje is the time.
It's been I'm very honored, and it's been a pleasure to have you as my guest today, Mr. T. Because almost every day, my guests, this is a youth focused platform.
And Africa is endowed, with such a wealth of youthfulness,
You see,
and power.
So obviously, Mr. Till, and I just want to tell you this before we close, like in front of everyone. So the main reason for us to come up with this idea for the youth, there was, I felt like we as youth, we've got a lot of stories, a lot of powerful voices to tell, but most of them, they don't have the platform to say, because there's no way I can wake up today and say I'm going to SABC One, to this top podcast and ETV, and so I was like, I can do it for my fellow brothers and sisters like around here, and I had to prove myself right, because based on the people that I've been working with, actually proud of myself. So I'm very happy for that.
Great stuff. You're doing great.
We're trying, and like we want it to be internationally. Actually, don't want to focus on local. Want to.
Yes.
So, thank you guys. Thank you very much. And Mr. T was here, and I'm very happy. Like in Jabulega. So, till we meet again, and we are always looking forward to your feedbacks and suggestions. Always. And to those to that 40% like ebukela nje phela inga subscribe, please guys, like please just do something, subscribe, like, share and comment. You know what, because the more you engage with us, the more we make money. So thank you guys, till we meet again, lots of love, bye.